So Jake and I are on our way to Vegas to pick up the van. You want to say anything?
How you doing?
Freaking out. Make me look buff.
Linnea soaking it all in. She cries. Aww.
Alright, this video is going to be about my journey finding my van. So I actually started looking for a van about 2 weeks ago, and I thought that the process would not be as painful as it has been. I figured a video could be a great way to explain kind of what I've been going through and what steps I'm going to take moving forward, especially if you are somebody that hasn't bought a vehicle from a car dealership or hasn't spent over $3,000 on a car ever in their life. 2 weeks ago, I started looking into dealerships around the area, and I actually went and checked out a dealership here in town. Basically, they brought me in knowing exactly what I wanted, and they told me that they had a vehicle for me, and it wasn't what I wanted. So I want a high top Ram ProMaster, not a 3500, either a 1500 or a 2500. They had a low top, brand new, not what I wanted. They knew that. They brought me in knowing that. Pretty frustrating experience. I found a vehicle online in Las Vegas that I was interested in. It was in my budget. It was about $15,000 at about 100,000 miles on it. And I called them. They said that it was sold. That same dealership had another Ram ProMaster for sale, a 2016, and I actually traveled down to Vegas and I test drove it. Second dealership that I found a vehicle that I was interested in. It was in my budget. I called them. As I was telling them, like, hey, I'm interested in this vehicle, they tell me, well, actually, we add an additional $3,000. And I was like, whoa, 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 what? I'm sorry, can you go back to that extra $3,000? And they said, oh yeah, so we actually tack on an extra $3,000 because we include accessories when all of our vehicles come in. And I asked if every single listed price then on their website was actually not the selling price because you have to tack on $3,000 extra dollars. And they said yes. So be careful for those extra charges that they are not listing online. Today's an exciting day. As you guys have heard, I have been really sick of dealing with these bigger dealerships. So I'm actually on my way right now. I'm putting my shoes on right now because I am going to head to a smaller dealership here in my town and see what they can do to help me out. Sometimes small dealerships will actually help you find a good deal. They just work with you better. So I called up a small dealership here in St. George, and I'm gonna go and see if they would be willing to work on finding me the van that I want in my budget. They were super nice. Basically what they said is that they generally don't get the cargo vans in, you know, such a small dealership, but they would be willing to take my name and my number and exactly what I want. And they said that an option, you know, would be to put some money down first and then they go out to auctions and look for the vehicle that I want. They were super nice, super accommodating. They answered so many questions, and these guys said that generally at large dealerships there's gonna be a lot of fees. Like I said, the $3,000 tacked on, they're like, yeah, they're gonna try to make up their money some way. So if that means, you know, putting protection on the outside and inside of vans and jacking up the price because of it, that's what they're gonna do. And their manager is going to call me when they're able to purchase vehicles again and attend auctions. So maybe if that happens soon enough, if COVID can just stop doing whatever it's doing, maybe they can find me a van. But I'm gonna go check out this other dealership and see what they have to say. Okay, so I just went to the second small dealership and they were also super nice. He took down all of my information, exactly what I wanted, and he said that they're actually able to go to auctions or do it a lot online, even though COVID is a thing. So he said that Thursdays are auctions, and what happens is, since they know what I want, they would take some pictures of what they're finding, send them my way, and I would either say like, okay, don't go over X amount of money, and then whatever, you know, whatever they get it for, they would tack on an extra 1,000 or an extra 1,500 for, you know, them finding it for me and whatever. So better than $3,000 for shit I don't need. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna try one more small dealership, and then I am going to go home and wait it out a little bit. Okay, what I learned today was to talk to multiple dealerships because of COVID and because of things going on right now. Out of the 3, only 2 of them were able to actually go to auction. The first one still took my information and what I wanted, but it's pretty clear that they're not gonna make many moves on it, I guess. And then the other 2 took my information, exactly what I need, the mileage I want, my budget, everything. And they're going to be looking during the auctions coming up and then contacting me when they find something, if they find something. The difference though about those 2 is one of them said that they tack on an extra 1,000 or 1,500 for finding it for you. And then the last one that I went to, they were the most relaxed, and they said that they don't tack on any extra fees for that. Do I know if that's true? No, but that's what they said. We'll see if I get a call back soon. Fingers crossed. I'm ready for my van. So I'm actually looking online. I've been looking online for like 2 hours now just to see what other high roofs are available kind of around the country and the surrounding states near me. And I got a message from Kurt, who was one of the guys I talked to at the smaller dealerships here. And he said that yesterday he didn't find any high roofs and asked me if I was completely stuck on Ram. I told him, yeah, but that I'm willing to be patient, and so he's gonna keep checking for me. Based on some of the conversations that I had with those guys, it sounds like COVID is really getting in the way of buying and selling vehicles. So the small dealerships are having a hard time buying and selling cars and keeping their lots full. So it's kind of tough with COVID, and it sucks that I can't really travel. There are 2 in Colorado that I'm interested in. They're just both over 100,000 miles, and ideally I wouldn't have that many miles on my vehicle. I have a very good idea of what I want as far as mileage and price, and still have not found it. It'll happen. So I already told you about the van that I test drove 2 weeks ago, I think now. Well, the price dropped. It was just under $19,000 and now it's just under $17,000. So I've been looking at this vehicle for a while now, and I'm just gonna see what they can do. And I want to make sure it's the same one too, so I'm gonna ask some questions. Oh, also I'm gonna ask if there are other fees, because like that other dealership, there's an extra $3,000. So here we go. Wish me luck. I have been looking at this ProMaster that you guys are selling, and I was just wondering if you could give me a little bit more information about if it has any accident history or where it spent some of its life. All right, thanks so much. Bye. Why is this so hard? It's like my own decision making that... I'm gonna delete this app. $17,000 for a vehicle with no accident history. All of its life was lived in California and has 74,000 miles on it. I think this might be my van. This is what I do. I get decision paralysis or decision fatigue or whatever you want to call it in this moment. I have it. My heart is beating so fast. This is the biggest purchase I've ever made in my life. It's just hard to part with my hard-earned money. Okay. I already talked with my bank. I'm getting a really good API rate. Sure. Also, you can just tell them that I'll be there to pick up the van on Wednesday. Linnea, Linnea. Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye. Huh. So I'm supposed to pick up my van tomorrow, and the last 2 days have not been fun. Something to make sure you have figured out before purchasing a cargo van is to communicate with whoever you're financing through about it not being a commercial vehicle. I had talked to my bank that I bank with down here, and they got me set up with a great APR. It was gonna be 3.49, and I had sent them the VIN of the van I was interested in. This was like 2 weeks ago. I told the dealership I would be there to pick up the van on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So I contacted the bank and I said, hey, it's all ready to go. I'm gonna pick up the van on Wednesday. And they said, oh, well, actually, since it's a commercial vehicle, you're gonna need a commercial vehicle loan. So my APR doubled, and I needed to put a 20% down payment on the vehicle, which was almost $4,000. And I was pretty frustrated because they hadn't said any of this prior. So I tried one more thing, and I talked with the dealership. So I called them, I explained what was going on, and they said, hey, actually we work with a bank down here that can get you a consumer loan even though it's a cargo van, even though it's a commercial vehicle. So that is the route that I'm going. So make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's, because you may be approved for a really good loan that isn't actually the reality. So if I had any advice for you, make sure that it's very clear that you're looking at a cargo van, if that is what you're purchasing. Make sure that they know that it's not for commercial use, and see what they say, because you may need to make a few calls to figure it out. I was super excited to get my van, and then I was extremely bummed, and now I'm like, the excitement is like coming back up again. We're getting a van, Keeks, tomorrow. Are you excited at all? Look at her.
We're getting our van tomorrow. Are you excited?
Today's the day! So Jake and I are on our way to Vegas to pick up the van, and you wanna say anything? Yeah, he's gonna bring me down, and then I'm gonna drive my van back, and I'm really excited and also nervous and super anxious. Last time that I went to test drive this van, it didn't start twice actually because it had been on the lot for so long. Also the AC didn't work, which is kind of a big issue. So I just texted Harry, who was the guy that I was dealing with a lot lately with all of the financing issues with it. And so I just texted him and said, hey, can you get one of your people on fixing the AC, testing the battery, and he's getting on it right now. So it's happening.
She's very excited, if you can't tell.
Not at all.
How you doing?
I'm freaking out.
You just signed all your papers?
Not all of them yet. Not the important ones yet. It's not mine yet.
What are they doing on it back there?
They're fixing the AC. They're putting Freon in the thing to make it cool.
Yeah.
And it will last many years. Did you say anything about testing my battery?
Yeah, I think you said that they already did that. Yeah.
It does make me look buff.
Oh, he's unlocked.
Now, does he start? That is the question. Next! So my friend Tyler, I sent him the videos of this bad boy, and he just mentioned that because there is because the wood is discolored, to check underneath and make sure that whatever this van was hauling isn't creating any issues underneath the wood. So I'm gonna take a peek and see. It's honestly all fine. Do you think that side can come up at all?
No.
Screwed down?
Yeah, there's some screws right here. Whatever.
It's more about this side that I'm worried about.
Oh, that's just dirt from getting through. Yeah, looks good. What do you think?
I think it's perfect. Should we look under one more time? There's probably still that bolt missing over there, which will be easy to fix.
Oh, you got all dirty. It's got a cute little front. It's so short.
I know.
It's like a stub nose. Oh.
All right. Well, shall we do the thing where we give them my money? My heart right now. It's going crazy. Well, I just signed the papers. They're all in this little envelope, and it was quite an extensive process, but now it's mine.
He's looking for a second set of keys for you?
Yeah, second set of keys. I don't know which one is the unlock button.
Well, stop crying and figure it out.
I can't believe it. Okay, it's the top one. Literally cannot believe it. Can you believe this?
Pretty good foot space here. This is odd. It feels like super low. It feels really far away compared to, because I think we're sitting up so high. But Linnea is soaking it all in. She cries. Aww.
I cannot believe that this is my man.
Well, all your hard work's paid off.
If I get in an accident, I'm gonna be so mad. Oh my gosh, babe, we're gonna go on so many adventures. How do you think of a name?
How about we turn it on? I'm sweating. Okay. We're in Vegas and it's like 100 degrees out, sitting in a car, cooking my brain.
Why is it yelling at me? Oh. Put your seatbelt on. Oh.
It's on. Well, let's turn this off. Whoa, you got a little touch screen.
I have a backup screen too.
Oh, really? Put it in reverse. Let's see it. Oh, damn.
Oh my.
Can you even see around you?
I can't. I noticed that last time I drove it. And I can't see behind me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
because of that. Because it's a cargo van.
It actually rides really smooth.
So smooth. And it likes that I drive like a grandma.
Yeah, nice and slow.
Oh my, I can't believe it. Harry was so nice. Wasn't Harry nice?
Yeah, he's also a car salesman. They're all nice.
Mary wasn't very nice.
Sorry, Mary, if you're listening to this.
She was nice when I was paying for it.
Yeah.
You see this?
Let's listen to his horn.
No.
Give her a honk.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, give her a honk. Nice big honk.
Ooh.
Nice.
I think I'm forgetting how to drive. I need to get the snacks. Some of the snacks. This is the view you get for now. So I just started to stop shaking. I've been driving my new van now for like an hour. And it's like maybe starting to set in that it's mine. I'm on my way home with my new van. Oh my gosh. I want to go over briefly and share with you guys why I chose a Ram ProMaster. The number one thing for me is budget. I wanted a van that was high quality. I did not want what they call a lemon, like a fixer-upper van, because I want to feel safe and stable, and I want to be able to go a lot of places without it breaking down all the time. So, all said and done, this van, 2016, 74,000 miles on it, cost a little bit less than $20,000. Now remember, that's with taxes and dock fees and everything added on. It was listed for just under $17,000. So that gives you kind of an idea of what those extra fees are when you're searching for a van. Because this is a commercial vehicle, there were a whole lot of wrenches that were thrown into this whole journey. Basically, my APR rate is higher than it should have been because this is a commercial vehicle, and it's pretty hard to get them financed, especially when you are a young woman that is self-employed. So the second biggest thing for me is maintenance. I do not want to be putting in a lot of extra time and especially a lot of extra money fixing this vehicle up. So from what I've heard through reading different articles on the internet and talking with some of my friends, is that Sprinters are pretty pricey when it comes to maintenance. Now I also have friends though that they were able to figure out a lot of that themselves. I'm going to be traveling solo some of the time and I don't honestly want to deal with that. Another thing that I love is that it has a lot of space. So one of the like cons, I guess, of more like European model vehicles like Sprinters, and I think even the Transits, their back is like, this has like really great space in the back. It's kind of more square. I cannot believe I am driving home in my new van. What? There's a really great article that I read that really helped me figure out what I wanted, or at least narrow in on what I wanted, and I'll put that below. And it just kind of objectively goes through all of the options, the different vans and styles based on what one would want and need, or what they are looking for in their future. So that was really helpful for me to read, and it just kind of solidified that the cargo van, this type of van, was what I wanted. I knew for sure that I wanted a high top. I wouldn't want a low top. When Jake is traveling with me, I want him to be able to stand up, and I want to be able to stand up and comfortably cook and comfortably sleep, and not that I'm sleeping standing up, but I want there to be enough space for me to live comfortably. The goal, like I said in a previous video, the goal is to live comfortably enough to want to be doing this for a while and really get my money's worth and really gain the experiences that are just like lying ahead waiting to be experienced. Basically, I'm going to go through the process of building it out, and I do not want to rush that process at all. I am going to show that entire process on YouTube. There are really only very, very few people that I've found on YouTube that walk through things in a very dumbed down fashion, in a way that somebody with my lack of experience and my lack of knowledge can follow. So I would like to be another one of those, especially for women who think that they could never do something like this, that they could never figure out how to build a van out, they could never figure out the electrical, that they could never figure out how to cut holes in your van in the way that's not going to mess it up, right? So I'm hoping that by showing my entire van build and walking through how I do everything, it can encourage other women to just do it, just to break away from whatever expectations people have for them and just do what they want. Not saying that it needs to be a van, hell, it can be whatever. So the next thing that I need to tackle is the build. So if you want to watch me figure all of this out and mess up and hopefully create a kind of beautiful van, make sure you subscribe. I guess the real next step is to figure out a name for this bad boy.